Yeah.
Okay. Boys and girls, it's math time. Have you ever had a piece of candy or pizza that you had to share or wanted to share with a friend and had to break it into equal pieces?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a name for the pieces that you broke it into?
Pieces.
No. Well, I would say that you're breaking into a fraction. You're breaking into pieces of a fraction. The piece of candy would be the whole fraction, and the pieces that you're breaking into would be your parts. Okay. Can anybody tell me what the definition of a fraction is? Okay. A fraction is a part or of a whole part of a set. So today we're going to do some investigating with fractions. But before we do that, we need to pull out our fraction strips. And as you see, Ms. Ford has her fraction strips already out. Okay, fractions have numerators and denominators. Today we're going to learn how to identify the denominator of a fraction as the number of equal parts of a whole unit. Okay, now let's pull out our strips. This would be one whole, one over one whole. If I was to tear this into two equal parts, I would get two pieces, two halves. Two halves equals one whole. Two halves would equal one whole. If I was to take this piece of this paper and tear it into three equal sections, I would get thirds. 1, 2, 3, and that equals one whole. If I was to take this and tear it into four equal pieces, we would get fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that gives you one whole. The same if I was to tear it into 6 pieces, we have our 6, and if we tore it into 8 pieces, right? And then when you line it up, it's going to equal one whole. So, if we have 8 pieces on here, it would be 8 over 8. And that would be 8 over 8 equals 1. So that's how it's one whole. Okay. Now we're going to play a game together. I'm going to call out a fraction, and I want you guys to think about what you're doing before you start it. Samantha, you can use my pieces that I have, and then together we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out together. So if I said that I want one whole, if I want one whole of something, what would be the piece that I would be getting? I could use one of these, right? One whole. If I wanted to have 2/6 of something, what would be the? Could you show me the fraction that represents 2/6? Right. That's 2/6 of a whole. Okay. If I wanted to have 5/8, could you show me 5/8? Right. Okay. If I was to show you and I tell you something, if I was to show you this, what would this fraction be?
3/4.
Right. If I was to show you this, what would it be?
1/3.
Right. If I was to show you this. Well, you get it.
3/8.
Alright. Good job. Now it's time to pull out your my book about fractions that we passed out earlier. And I'm going to go over some stuff and things that you guys can work on independently later for homework. Okay. Like we talked about, the first page shows the fraction vocabulary. And a fraction is a part of a whole or part of a set. The symbol used to represent a fraction has one number over the other. The bottom number is the denominator and the top number is the numerator. today we introduced and learned about fractions. Can anyone tell me what a fraction is? No one can tell me what a fraction is. Okay. A fraction is a part of whole or a part of a set. What are the things that describe a fraction?
Numerator.
Right.
Denominator.
Right. And one quick question before we finish. If the denominator is big, if it's 1/8, then would that be bigger or smaller than 1/2?
1/8 is smaller than half.
Right. So if the number is smaller, say 1/3, would 1/3 be bigger or 1/6 be bigger?
1/3 is bigger.
Right. Okay, so that concludes our lesson over fractions.